Okay, so in an ionic bond class, who are the participants in this said bonding? In your periodic table, the participants here are those which we consider metals and non-metals. The most reactive metal to participate in an ionic bond are the ones we can see in the first column of our periodic table, or the group 1 elements. And the most participative under the non-metals are the ones which we can find in the halogens group, or group 7. Metals being an anion, or rather metals being a cation, has a charge of positive, and non-metals being an anion has a charge of negative. But the understanding of the negative and the positive, I hope that it is already in your mind when we discuss the chemical bonding. Okay? So to proceed, class, when you're going to perform an ionic bond, make sure that your participants are ions. And these ions are the metals and the non-metals. In this example, you have a magnesium and a chlorine, giving you the molecule magnesium chloride. But how will we name this as magnesium chloride? Before we name this as magnesium chloride, understand the values that is present in the molecule. Why is this MgCl2 and not Mg2Cl? Why is this not Mg2Cl2? There must be a reason behind. So to give you to give you the end result of a molecule upon the chemical reaction, you have to write the ionization of these elements. And these ionization will guide you to determine the molecular formula at the end of that said reaction. And how will you determine the subscript of these elements? It is taken from the ionization of that said element from the said chemical reaction. Say, magnesium with an ionization of +2 reacts with chlorine with an ionization of -1, gives you magnesium 1 chloride 2. So this is what we call the crisscross method in a chemical reaction. You'll also see for sure the magnesium chloride as it is, because when you're going to draw the ionic bond between magnesium and chlorine, that is magnesium with 2 valence electrons and chlorine on both sides with 7 valence electrons. And this happens as an ionic bond that the magnesium will transfer 2 of its electrons to each of the chlorine atoms. Thus, chlorine will contain now 8 valence electrons, so as with magnesium. And this is what we call as the ionic bond, or the transfer of molecules from the transfer of electrons from metals to non-metals. And then again, this is where we get to see magnesium 1, chlorine 2, atoms of chlorine. Again, how did we get this one? We get it from the ionization of the elements, and then crisscross the ionization, and there you have the molecule given as such. But what about if you're going to have the molecule of hydrogen added with the molecule of water, or added with the molecule of oxygen? It will give you H2O, right? But how come it is H2O? How come is it H2O? Hydrogen, as a participant in the covalent bond, has a +1 charge, and oxygen in the covalent bond has a -1 charge. Thus, hydrogen will now have a subscript of 2, while oxygen will now have a subscript of 1. What happens between hydrogen and oxygen here with the subscript of hydrogen as 2 and oxygen as 1? This is where the understanding of the diatomic elements. Okay, so these are diatomic, and if they occur as a free element in a reaction, they have to have a subscript of 2. But these two will not matter when you're going to have a chemical reaction in its way. Question? Probably none. So let's proceed then. So again, how will we determine the subscript? That is the result when we crisscross the when we crisscross the ionization per of each element. Okay, and then also in the module class, please notice that I also write here the polyatomic ions. The examples of polyatomic ions, we have ammonium, nitrite, carbonate, perchlorate, chlorate, thiosulfate. You can find these in your periodic table. You can find these in your periodic table together with their ionization. So do not be limited with what I did right here in the what do you call that module, because this is just limited with information. Get it? So let's proceed with naming ionic compounds. So how are we going to name ionic compounds class? There are several ways in which we name ionic compounds, but allow me to divide it into two. Ionic compounds could be binary, and ionic compounds would be ternary. Again, binary compounds and ternary compounds. What makes it a binary compounds? Binary compounds will be participated by 2 elements only. Example is magnesium chloride. That is a binary compound. But ternary compounds is participated by a metal and a polyatomic ion. Again, ternary compounds is participated by a metal and a polyatomic ion. Examples of polyatomic ion, please read your module. You have there different examples of such polyatomic ion. No? Daghan kayo na siya diha. So, remind me this one. If we are going to name, I hope that this has rules. If you are going to name compounds class, you have to follow rules. And these rules for ionic compounds simply uses as is simply, please look at your module. Notice they're using the set of rules for IUPAC or the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. The systems of naming for binary compounds are as follows. The positive ion is named first. And you're going to name the element of that positive ion, the full name of that positive ion. Rule number 2, under the negative ion or the second element in the participant for the chemical reaction, you're going to name the element with an IED at its ending. With an IED at its ending. So for example, if your non-metal there is chlorine, you will name it as chloride. If your non-metal is bromine, so you will name it as bromide. If your non-metal is sulfur, you'll name it as sulfide. But if your non-metal is phosphorus, you will not name it as phosphoride. Rather, you'll just name it as phosphide. Get it? It is not phosphoride, but it's phosphide. Okay? I think I have here a sample for that. Try this one. Here's an example of what I just mentioned, class. under the rules of naming metal and a non-metal under the ionic bond. So for metals, you just have to name them according to their name in the periodic table. So the cations are named as such, but for the anions, they will be named with an ending IED. IED. Okay. So fluorine, fluoride, chlorine, chloride, bromine, bromide, iodine, iodide, oxygen, oxide, phosphorus, phosphide, nitrogen, nitride. What about carbon class? How will we name carbon as a non-metal? Carbide. Carbide. Selenium, selenide. Iodine, iodide. I think we have iodide here. Okay. So let's try this one. How about okay, here. Complete the names of the following ions. Let's try to complete the names of the following ions. Ba2 plus. Let's try Al. Ba2 plus. What is the name of this ion?
Barium. Barium.
Barium. Barium. How about Al3 plus? Rafael.
Aluminum.
Aluminum.
Eh,
Aluminum.
aluminum, aluminum, aluminum.
Aluminum. Aluminum. Okay. Alexandra, for the K plus. K plus. How will you read this one, Alex?
Potassium.
Potassium. Let's proceed to the second row. N3 minus. N3 minus. Gia. Gia. Is your audio fine?
Sodium.
N3 minus.
I know, sir, Joseph. Nitrogen.
Nitrogen, yes. But how will you name this one, Kine? This is a non-metal, take note. So this is barium according to Al. Aluminum for Rafael, potassium for Alex. And the three of them are correct. But what about N3 minus? Let me get back to you on that. Catherine, what is the name for O2 minus?
Oxide, sir.
Oxide, probably. Maybe. Parang wala sa module kanina, no? Parang wala sa picture kanina. What about F minus? Trixley.
Fluoride. Fluorine. Fluoride.
What is P3 minus? Kent Buliser.
Phosphide, sir.
Phosphide. S2 minus, Vem.
Sulfide.
Sulfide. And what about King Cabagnot? Cl minus. And King is not around. What about Hero? Do you have Hero? Ready? Cl minus. And Hero is not around. So probably I will just remove you from the discussion today if you are not going to answer. If you will not participate, I'll just remove you, and you are not turning on your cameras, so probably I'll just remove you then. Huh? Okay, let's go back to the example Mary Jade, so that Mary Jade will be not confused. Again, name the metal, and then after naming the metal, the non-metal, you'll end it with an IED. Therefore, sodium and chlorine makes sodium chloride, potassium and sulfur makes potassium sulfide, and so on and so forth. So right now, I'm going to ask you to name number one in this example.
Ano, sir? Calcium oxide.
Very good. Calcium oxide, and that is correct. How about Hero, KBr? K is potassium, Br is bromine. Go.
Potassium bromide.
Potassium
Bromide.
bromide. Bromide, yes. Chelsea, Al2O3.
By the way, express your answers in percent form. So you still have to multiply that by 100%. What is the expected percent of return on equity?
Yes, Chelsea.
Still doing the computation of ending balance of capital of owner's equity.
Aluminum and oxygen.
Aluminum oxide.
Aluminum oxide. Next, number 4, MgCl. Harvey. Magnesium and chlorine.
What is the net income? Look at the net income.
Where's Harvey?
Chloride.
Very good. You just have to read your module. It's there, no? Magnesium chloride. Oh, very good. So these are your answers. Calcium oxide, potassium bromide, aluminum oxide, and magnesium chloride. O, naman lagi si Kenan. Oh. Hi, Kenan.
Wait, net income.
Ah, snub ako ni Kenan, ah. Okay, let's try this one. Hello. Let's combine sodium and bromine, sodium and sulfur, sodium and nitrogen together with aluminum to bromine, aluminum to sulfur, and aluminum to nitrogen. To start off, let me ask Ahmad. Sodium and bromine. What is your answer here, Ahmad?
How much is the final value of equity?
And Dedma from Ahmad. Probably there's really something wrong with the internet connection for those who are turning off their cameras. So let's so be it. Let me ask Robertson. Sodium and bromine.
Will I say the name or the?
Yes, the name. The name.
The name. Okay. Sodium bromide.
Sodium bromide. Give me the formula then.
Na. I don't know how to say it perfectly, but it's Na and Br.
Okay. So your answer was sodium bromide, correct? And let us see if NaBr is correct later. Okay? Let's proceed with Carl, Jacob, sodium and sulfur. Carl, Jacob.
However, you have not deducted yet withdrawals from the value.
This part here. Sodium and sulfur. What will be the name?
Nicole is gone.
Sodium sulfuride.
It's not sulfuride lagi. Sulfide, not sulfuride. Sodium sulfide. Okay? Again, what is the name?
Sodium sulfide.
And give me the molecule name, formula.
Correct.
NaS.
The
Final answer?
Value.
Asa man ang toy butang? Dere?
Over there.
Over there. Oh, over there. Over there. Where there? Give me there.
And the Na.
In the NA. Ayun. Do not give me over there. My goodness. Let's proceed with Na and N3. Rafael, this time, I'll ask you to answer this one. Give me the formula first. So you have Na.
And Na3. Then N.
And then what's the name? Sodium.
Sodium nitroside.
Sodium nitride.
Nitride.
Do not have it as nitroside. Nitride is the name. Sodium nitride. Ben Datoy, aluminum and bromine. Go.
13.24.
Name, sir, or
Anyhow.
aluminum bromide, sir.
Aluminum bromide, correct? Give me the formula.
You have 13.24.
Aluminum and then bromide.
What's the rate of return
Br
on
and
equity?
then
But how
ano, sir?
much is it exactly?
3.
So what
Asa man si Tre? Dere or dere?
at that computed percentage,
Br,
you
sir.
use that
Br. Very good.
percentage
Let's proceed with Kint Buliser.
compute
Aluminum and
against
sulfur.
the final value
Aluminum
of
sulfide, sir,
equity.
then aluminum sub 2, sulfur sub 3.
Very good. Lastly, Al Christian, aluminum and nitrogen.
The value of
Aluminum nitride, then
Correct. And what is the formula?
so the percentage
Al3
that you have
N3.
will be
Okay.
multiplied to the
Please focus
final
your
value
attention
of
to the
equity.
answer of Al. This can be simplified. Notice that the denominators, or not denominators, Notice that the bases of aluminum and nitrogen is both 3. And this is what we call as the molecular formula.
0.
This is correct, but in case of a final answer, this can be simplified. Again, this is correct. But in our lesson right now, this has to be simplified. Rather, instead of saying aluminum nitride as Al3N3, you can have it written as ALN.
The percent people will have to be
Get it?
turned into decimal value.
Divide 3 by 3, divide 3 by 3. So you have Al1N1. And this is the answers. So notice the, for a while, I'll eliminate the scribbles. So the correct answers are NaBr, sodium bromide, Na2S, sodium sulfide, Na3N, sodium nitride, AlBr3, aluminum bromide, Al2S3, aluminum sulfide, and aluminum nitride, ALN.
40
This formula is what we call as the empirical formula. Empirical formula is the simplified form of the molecular formula.
return on equity
Get it?
of
If the question is asking for this one, find the formula of, you have to write the molecular, the empirical formula. Unless it is stated there, give the molecular formula of aluminum nitride, then you'll give Al3N3. But that is yet to be simplified further. According to the IUPAC, the simplified form of the formula is having the subscript in simplified values, eliminating the divisibility there.
in your store. That would, in your store, yeah. But of course, that would require.
Notice, class, that some of the elements in the periodic table have multiple ionizations. Example of which we have chromium, copper, gold, iron, lead, tin, mercury, mercury, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper is there. What else? Chromium, vanadium. There are infinite number, or there are finite number of values which are having multiple ionizations. And how you are going to name them? In the IUPAC naming, you are going to name them using the Roman numeral. But there is a traditional name given to the following. Their traditional name is taken from the origin of the following names. For example, chromium, copper, gold. For example, gold, you have aurum. Copper is cuprum, iron is ferrum, lead is plumbum, tin is stannum. Okay, so there are differences between naming metals with multiple ionization. Let's have examples here. So for example, here we have FeCl2. You'll name it as iron 2 chloride. And FeCl3, you'll name it as iron 3 chloride. Of course, where did you get that 3? It was the ionization of iron. Where did you get that 2 there? It's the ionization of iron here. So this is iron 2 and iron 3. So as with copper here, class, copper 1 and copper 2, tin 2, and lead 4, being the subscript of bromine and chlorine. Question. Clarifications? Oh, so there's none. Let's try this one. We have here examples of this one. Learning checks. Search for the correct name of this molecule. I think that I presented the answer a while ago when I accidentally clicked the arrow keys. So what is the name of this molecule? Fe2S3. Fe2S3. Is it iron sulfide? Is it iron 2 sulfide? Is it iron 3 sulfide? Lexley.
Two, sir.
iron 2 sulfide? The answer is iron 3 sulfide because of the subscript of sulfur being 3.
Current assets.
Number 2, COO or CuO. Catherine,
Can you see the part now?
is it copper oxide, copper 1 oxide, or copper 2 oxide?
One, sir.
It's copper 2 oxide. Because originally, oxygen is -2. So expected that copper is base 2. And how come it is CuO only? Which means to say that the subscript of oxygen was 2 beforehand. In other words, we use copper plus 2. To generate copper base 2, oxygen base 2, simplify it, it's copper oxide. Get it? Maybe. So these are the answers. Copper 2 and iron 3. This was the origin beforehand. Iron is +3, so that we have here S3. And copper is 2, so we simplify Cu2O2 as CuO.
If you look at your module 1 for fundamentals of EBN, here are the current
Questions? Clarifications? There's a much better way of naming the following class. There's a much better way of naming the following. Allow me to share screen another slide.
So, if we compute the ratio, of course, you're not doing tails. You're not doing tail.
Oh my God.
Because you are doing, we will not use tails because Leo Paulo Perez is doing a service industry. So we will use service.
Here is a table that gives you an older way of naming the following. Instead of naming it as chromium 2, by the way, both are correct. If you wish to name it one over the other, both are correct. Instead of naming chromium 2, you can name it as chromos. Instead of naming it as chromium 3, you will name it as chromic. Iron 2 is ferrous, iron 3 is ferric. What have you noticed between the use of the os and the use of the ik? Ik refers to the higher ionization, and os refers to the lower ionization. Cobaltose and cobaltic for +2 and +3 respectively. Cuprous and cupric taken from the Latin name of copper, which is cuprum. Stannous and stannic, mercurous and mercuric, plumbous and plumbic. For gold, you have auros and auric. Okay, and think we have nickel. Nickel is also having 2 and 3. So nickel is nickelos, nickelic. Arsenic also has 2 and 3. Arsenic is arsenicos, arsenic, not arsenic.
Why?
It's just arsenic.
You include
Okay. This is not found in your module, so I hope that you take a picture or you memorize, or if not, review the video later in the Edmodo page. Okay, done taking a picture in it. Let's try to continue then. So for example here, we have, never mind with this one. We already have, all right. Let's proceed with.
Nico, do we only have cash at our current asset? No, you look at current assets. Is cash
This
our
one.
only current asset?
Let's name the following: PbCl4 and PbO.
There's one more.
PbCl4 and PbO. Take note that Pb or lead has an ionization of +2 and +4. So probably PbO was having a formula of Pb2O2 because oxygen again is 2-. So therefore we are using here +2 for lead, and since chlorine is -1, so therefore we are using here +4 for lead. So how are we going the first one, class? How are you going to name this one? Name it in 2 ways. How will we name it in the IUPAC? Al, give me the name of this one in Ayupak, Al.
Lead for chloride.
And what is the common name for lead for chloride?
Leadic chloride.
Leadic chloride. The name is the element symbol, by the way, Pb, is taken from the Latin plumbum. Plumbum or plumbum. I am not sure how to pronounce this one. So therefore, this is not leadic chloride, but this is plumbous or plumbic. So plumbous, and since this is in a higher ionization energy, this is plumbic chloride. So therefore, this one is plumbous oxide, maybe. And then name this in Ayupak, that's lead 2 oxide. I think there's an answer after this one.
Okay, what's your total?
By the way, this one, why is this not named calcium 2 oxide?
So, what's now the ratio?
Why is this not named calcium 2 oxide? Before I will reveal the answer, someone please explain why this is not named calcium 2 oxide.
Operating working capital to sales ratio.
Bam. The original formula, by the way, is Ca2O2. This is the molecular formula, but the empirical formula is CaO. Why is it not named calcium 2 oxide and it is just named calcium oxide?
Sir, I'm not sure, sir, but I think, sir, because you can simplify
it. You can simplify it, that's your reasoning, maybe. Catherine, support your best friend. What is the reason behind it, Catherine?
What did she say again, sir?
This was named a while ago. This is named calcium oxide. The name of this molecule is calcium oxide. But why is it is not named calcium 2 oxide? This one is lead. This is lead 4 chloride. And then this is lead 2 oxide. But what about calcium oxide? Why is it only named calcium oxide and not calcium 2 oxide? Maybe Trexley knows the reason. Rafael.
Wait, let's start with working capital first. What's the working capital?
I don't know, sir.
Harl?
414.
I don't know, sir.
Robertson.
I'll try, sir.
That's okay, go.
My idea is that because calcium only has one charge or ionization.
And that is the explanation there. You notice in the periodic table, thank you, Robertson, for giving me the correct answer. Calcium only has one charge, which is +2. So you need not to name it with the Roman numeral. It's just calcium oxide. So as with sodium, potassium, what else? Rubidium. For those with only one ionization, you'll just have to name it with the name itself. We only name it as lead 4, lead 2 because these elements have multiple ionizations, +2 and +4 for lead. For iron is +2 and +3 and the likes. So here is the explanation there. No answer para. This is another one. Practice. Write the molecular formula of the compounds. Chromium 2 chloride. Trexley. What is the formula for chromium 2 chloride?
CH.
Chromium is Cr.
CR2.
Cow. CR2.
CR2, CH.
Oh my God. Chlorine is Cl.
Ay, Cl.
Ano sa mga ni CH good? Uyab na ni mo. Ano ba? So your answer is Cr2Cl?
That's your current asset.
Ay.
By the value of
Maybe it's inverted.
Maybe it's inverted. So LC2. Also inverted. No, kidding aside. What do you mean by inverted there?
The answer, the number, sir. The
So it's CR, CL,
CL2.
2. Correct. Oh, this is the correct answer. Kenan, napatay. Tin 4 oxide.
Answer.
Ready? Okay.
T, sir.
Divide
This one.
by
Name this. Give me the molecule of tin 4 oxide.
31,600. Correct. What will that yield you?
Take note, class, that we are still in the binary compounds and apay ternary compounds.
4. Okay.
Yes, indeed, Bem. That is why I really had to separate naming covalent compounds to ionic compounds.
2.04 pesos.
Kenan,
So that's how it's supposed to be
T,
interpreted.
sir.
For every capital of
T.
2.04, every working.
tin is not T.
For every
Tin
working
is SN.
capital of 2.04
SN.
there is an equivalence
SN,
of
sir.
Oh, larga. Put
Then O.
subscripts. Put subscripts for SN and O.
4, sir.
Tin 4.
That's how you're supposed to read it.
So this is
A revenue of
SNO4.
1 peso
SN
for Leo Paulo Perez
O2.
is
SN
equivalent
O2 ra?
to capital, working capital of
The
2.04.
molecular formula that is supposed to be SN2O4, right? Tin 4 oxygen minus 2. But we reduce it and simplify it as SNO2. This is the answer, class.
But that's how the ratio has been reduced.
Thank you, Kenan. Iron 3 oxide, very easy. Iron 3 oxide. There's really a must that this is really what makes it. This is the part where I had to make sure that your attention should be focused on me during the discussion of this one, because a single detail missed in my discussion might end up not understanding the whole lesson at all. So please copy the correct answers for iron 3 oxide, tin 4 oxide, and chromium 2 chloride.
Sir, so the correct answer in tin 4 oxide is the one on top.
Mm-hmm. This one.
So, because na-cancel ang 2 of 4.
We have a common denominator between 2 and 4. 2 divided by 2 and 4 divided by 2. So SN1O2.
Okay, sir, thanks.
We do it in all of the molecules. Okay? But if we go to organic compounds, let's do away with molecular and empirical for now. However, in this lesson, I will credit the final answer as the empirical formula, which means reduce the subscripts to lower value. If this is divisible by 3, divided by 3. If this is divisible by 4, divided by 4. Okay, we're now in polyatomic ions. Okay, this is the last part of our discussion, class. Polyatomic ions goes with the participation of a metal to a polyatomic compound. Polyatomic ionic compounds is participated by a metal and a polyatomic ion. A polyatomic anion in particular. And how are we going to name polyatomic ionic compounds? Simply name the metal and the polyatomic ion itself. No need to worry about naming it because these names are already present in the periodic table. Like ClO, ClO2, ClO3, ClO4. They have different names, class, as a polyatomic ion. They have different names with respect to your periodic table. So if you are going to be, wait for a while. -1. Okay. So the charge here is -1, -1, -1. So how are you going to name a polyatomic ion with the molecular formula of ClO? This is okay, so na predictable. Tanawa diha sa yung predictable. ClO. Look at that in your periodic table.
Its customers are really good at paying cash. Paying services
I mean,
for cash.
if you wish to look at the module. That's a module class. First page, ClO is
31,600.
hypochlorite. Hypochlorite. ClO2 is chlorite. ClO3 is chlorate. ClO4 is perchlorate.
49%. Therefore, 49%.
Let me focus your attention on NO2 and NO3. NO2 is named nitrite. Nitrite.
We have just finished doing
And NO3 is nitrate.
If you look at what happened in the transactions of Leo Paulo Perez,
ClO2
there
is
no
chlorite.
accounts receivable.
ClO3 is
Therefore,
chlorate.
it does not have any turnover.
See the difference? 8 and
But
8 this time.
That his accounts receivable is 50,000.
Okay? 8 and 8.
Try to compute.
SO3 and SO4. Sulfite, sulfate.
Turnover, assuming that it's
PO3 and PO4. Phosphite, phosphate. Please see the difference of naming the following molecules in your periodic table, because my module is limited with only those which are mostly used by in a chemical reaction. So the one with lesser subscript goes with the 8. With the higher subscript goes with the 8. For ClO, we have two names. The one with the least is hypo. The one with the most exponent base is per. Not hyper, but per lang. Perchlorate. We also have manganate and permanganate. There are a lot of things that you need to look at in the periodic table. Master it, so naming is just an easy access to you guys. So example, we have here KNO, potassium nitrate. FeOH. FeOH class. How will you name this one? This is named as iron 2 hydroxide.
Okay. What's the result? Multiply it by 100%.
Also known as ferrous hydroxide.
How can you spell below?
NH4NO3. This is ammonium nitrate.
Nathan, 31,600.
And yeah, ammonium nitrate only. Because NH4 is ammonium, NO3 is nitrate. So this is ammonium nitrate. I hope we still have more examples here.
That would tell you that the receivables is contributing 63% of it.
Write the formula for barium nitrate. Barium is the 56, and this is where the table splits. Nitrate is -1. Nitrate. So what is the formula for barium nitrate?
Comes from receivables.
The formula there would be BaNO3.
Do you know what cost of goods
So,
is?
since barium is +2,
Do we know what cost of goods sold
nitrate is -1. Crisscross +2 will be the subscript of nitrate. And since, be careful class, since nitrate is a polyatomic ion, you have to provide a parenthesis before you write the subscript, which is 2. Ammonium iodide, ammonium is NH4 +1. Iodine is I-1. So ammonium iodide is NH4I. Iron 3 is Fe plus 3. Hydroxide is OH minus 1. So therefore, the formula for iron 3 hydroxide is FeOH3.
It's not a good zone. It's not automatically 18. Because if it's auto pegged at 18, the one who produces this is not earning at all.
I'll give you a worksheet.
That they have
Much.
earned.
Never mind. I think the module is enough for you to answer and understand our lesson. Try to practice answering your module class, and eventually understanding will follow, hopefully by Thursday. If you have a question regarding the lesson, ask it on Thursday. Anyone who would like to ask a question before we end the call? None? Clarifications? None.